spiritual dryness. How do you know that you are dry spiritually? Number one, when your zeal has failed. When your zeal has failed. Matthew 24 verse 12. He said, in that day perilous times shall come, and the love of many shall wax cold. When your zeal fails, we have many zealous believers with no zeal, no passion for God. Why were you not in church? Papa, rain. Why were you not in church? I didn't have transport. Why were you not in church? I don't have dress to wear. My dress was not ironed. Zeal is what keeps a man committed in serving God. Zeal is the driving force. Are you understanding me? When you discover that in your walk with God you no longer have zeal, it's a sign that you have entered into spiritual dryness. Zeal is what will make a man to pray at night. Zeal, wake up at night and pray till morning. Zeal is what will make a man to commit himself to fast and pray. Zeal, it takes zeal to go out for evangelism. It takes zeal to win souls. It takes zeal to preach the gospel. When you discover your zeal for God has failed, it's a sign that you have become spiritually dry. So anything can become an excuse. I didn't have transport. Anybody that gives excuses for not serving God is not zealous. It's not zealous. When I started my work with God, when we were in Scott Kingdom, and there at that time there were barely few bikes, and you need to pay, and I had no money, so I would trek to church. And I would trek to church, arrange everything, instruments, and clean the church and set up everything. I was in the choir. I would trek and go back home, and then change my dress and trek back to church, and still be the first person in church. What kept me going despite what I saw? One time my uncle called me and said, Noah, choose between church and education. Because if you choose church, your pastor will send you to school. If you choose education, I will send you to school, and you stop going to that church. And I told the uncle, I said, sir, when I gave my life to Christ, I denied myself. If I have denied myself, that means I have denied my family. If it comes between Jesus and my family, I choose Jesus. And he said to me, okay. And that's how I stopped living in the house. I took my life in my hand. It was tough. It was a battle. But God helped me. Zeal is what keeps you going. Zeal. 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 So you see many believers who cannot pray for 5 minutes. They cannot study their Bible. They cannot be engaged in any spiritual activity. It's because their zeal is dead. When you discover you have no zeal, it's a sign that you have become spiritually dry. Somebody say, Lord, refresh me. Refresh